Dig Richards has come up with a good news song. Well, where have you been?
For the last 5 or 6 years, Bernie, I've been travelling around the world, spending 6 months approximately a year in Australia, and the rest of the time outside, either performing or trying to get a record off the ground. I've what I might call tramp-steamered my way around.
Well, what sort of places have you been working in?
Clubs in the east. I'd play the Intercontinental Hotel circuit, say they have one in Manila, the Hilton in Bangkok and Hong Kong.
Well, what sort of work did you do in Britain? You were there for a year, I think.
I was there for a year. I only planned to be there for 6 months, but we stayed a little longer. Went there purely and simply to make some records and to try and get one off the ground.
Well, you started, Dig, in the bright but somewhat frivolous early days of rock, and a lot of your associates of those days have fallen by the wayside. How have you managed to sort of stay with it?
Well, I don't really know, except to say that I believe in involvement. I like performing. I like the involvement of music. In other words, I like what's happening now. And in the pursuit of all these things, I've somehow stayed somewhere. I don't know where, but...
Well, what prompted Piece of Peace?
The record, well, in England I became involved in songwriting, serious songwriting. I'm not somebody who can churn out 6 songs a week, but I would work for 5 or 6 hours a day on writing songs now. And I was sitting in my dingy little office with a stingy ray of sunlight coming through the window, and I thought, well, everybody for years has talked about peace in the world. Everybody is fighting to try and get a peaceful existence, but really, in the world today, where does one have their little piece of peace? And really, I think every man has it in the arms of a woman that he loves and he trusts. Some people only get this peace for 5 or 6 seconds, maybe, but that's where it's at for me.
Now, you recorded it in Melbourne, didn't you?
In Melbourne, at the Armstrong studio set up there.
They used the 16 track for the first time, I think, didn't they?
Well, it was the first 16-track recorder in Australia, and just by chance, mine was the first record to be done on it.
Yeah.
But 16-track recorders don't mean a lot unless the people can become involved and believe in what they're doing, which they do down there, far past the point of earning $1.
Do you think we're putting an Australian stamp on music these days? Is there anything peculiarly Australian coming out of the country?
Well, I'm a citizen of Australia, of course, but I also would like to think that I'm a citizen of the world. So I don't think we have to kind of think in terms of countries anymore. If everybody in every country puts something in, naturally there'll be something of Australia goes in. What?
Yeah, but have you seen or heard anything that you haven't heard overseas, any type of music?
Let me think. Wow. That's an incredibly hard question. There's a guitar player called Peter Martin who leads a group now called Scra, and some of his songs are absolutely fantastic, and he uses local place names, our own trees, if he's talking about a tree, and I think he's going to have an enormously big impact if the people are ready to accept Gundagai, Wollongong. This is the problem with, and I hope that people will give him a listen.
Do you think if they were good enough they'd get there anyway, the local stuff?
Well, if people will listen to them, sure.
I have found a little piece of peace in your arms that I never thought I'd ever find. A place to ease the troubles of my mind, the kind of comfort I have found in your sweet love. I have found my little piece of peace, feeling your warm body close to mine. Surely heaven couldn't be this fine. You dry my tears, my fears these all fly away. Just a little piece of peace when the mountains get too high, too steep to climb, too hard to find a way. Just a little piece of peace now at the end of every day. Coming home on ragged wings I fly, nearer, ever nearer, and I feel the pain subside. Weary of the day, impatient for the night when you drive.